Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of What Does the Cat Say? Uh, kind of a boring episode because don't really have much to talk about. Nothing major, as far as I can remember. Yeah, just hope everybody had a good past week and weekend and stuff. Still into my hiatus a little bit. Did play a little more Expedition 33, which, oh my god. Do I have gripes with that game? More than I thought I would. So far, story, really cool, really amazing. Scenery and stuff inside the game, awesome, wonderful. The control mechanics are annoying. So I think I mentioned one of the last times about playing this game. I got told by one of my people in chat to use a controller because it seems to be built more for a controller, and I definitely agree. It's definitely more built for controller. But the thing I've been having issues with is, for those who are not aware, it is a turn-based combat, and when enemies are attacking you, you do have the capability to do various dodges, parry, blah. But different mechanics requiring different inputs. The issue is that the game, apparently, and from other people in chat have said too, is apparently known for sometimes having a bit of lag with the input of your button press for dodging and all that hoopla. Problem with my game is it is bipolar on whether or not there is input lag on that. So it'll be in the middle of combat too. That's the worst part. It's not like between each enemy I'm fighting. It'll be in the middle of the fight. So there'll be moments when an enemy will be attacking, and I'll get the prompts to, little like visual prompts and stuff to dodge, to parry, to jump, etc. And one of their turns, one of the enemy in the enemy group's turn, I'll hit it, and it's like, oh, it did nothing. Seems a good 1 second plus lag between me hitting the button on the controller and then it actually doing the thing. Okay, noted. Next, sets of rounds come through, and all of a sudden the enemy's going again, and I'm like, okay, I remember there's input lag. They go and attack me. I hit the button in preparation for the input lag, and it does the input instantly, and it's like, what? It is obnoxious. It's just what I really like yelled on like just a extra stream I did the other day about it being like, make up your mind, game. I don't care if there's input lag, just stick with it. Either stick with having it or not. Yeah, that's been the biggest gripe. Been playing a crap ton of funny horse game, aka Uma. I think I've been saying it wrong so far. Uma Musume, Pretty Derby. Just been having fun. Got through finally one of the careers with the horses, one of their career goals fully, which was Haru and stuff. I don't know, just been having fun with it. Just trying to get stuff ranked up to make it so that some of the horses that I do want to kind of main, I can get through with fully. So far for me, what's her name? Like Ugari Cap, I think, is so far my spirit horse, because she's a freaking glutton, and so am I. So it's always been great and very, very fitting. And whatnot. So that was, has been fun, just kind of relaxing, just while keeping busy with this hiatus that's still going on. And what have you. I'm trying to think if there was anything specific for topics I wanted to talk about. There's nothing in my head. Yeah, no, not like I said, today is probably gonna be a short episode. Gonna be excited because I gonna try to get myself quite a lot more seriously into sim racing and stuff, because I do have I got a nice racing wheel on discount used on eBay, the Logitech G923, I think it is, arriving the Monday after recording this. So excited for that. I had a racing wheel before. I had the G29, which was like the PS4 and PC wheel, which I think it's like the kind of like the tier below the 923. Had that one, but then just randomly like last year, I like after not using it for a few months, I was like, oh, let me play Forza Horizon, whatever, and it was dead. Like just nothing. Like I the it wasn't even that the power for like the force feedback motor was dead. Like I plug it into my computer. My computer just it did not register its existence. So yeah. So yeah, it was annoying. But yeah, I got that. Get a little more into it because one of the brands I'm going to affiliate with has a racing team, and to kind of see if I can get myself up to snuff in a way to maybe be part of it, which would be really really fun and cool. And I've always just been intrigued with racing and stuff. I mean, this is a little cheaper to get to do than getting actual, uh, actual race cars because they're expensive. Um, but yeah, so there's just all that kind of going on right now. Things going into VTuber Sphere, just kind of your normal BS and whatnot and stuff. Like there's no real caring to talk about major updates to the V Sojo shit. It's just that like they're like, oh, we're trying to figure out merch stuff now because I guess a lot of merch collabs and stuff from the actual website are like up in the air for people who pre-ordered, and like a lot of the former members of V Sojo are warning their community that most likely the news on all that merch is most likely not going to be good news, just because if the company decided to just go like completely under, then yeah, no, then not, there's probably not much for them to actually go and fill any of that stuff. So yeah, but that's gonna be one of those things where most likely and hopefully with stuff like that, people will be getting issued just refunds for any pre-orders they did and whatnot. I mean, at worst, they just do that whole thing of they go to their banks and just are like, go to like basically just be like, hey, this never got fulfilled. Like, can we just get the charge back? Blah blah blah. But yeah, no. So yeah, no, it's something. God, yeah, I didn't really think of much to talk about on this episode. Like, just I don't know, I just do my little thing. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I think it's just because it's almost back to school stuff. Like, so again, the thing that I've already mentioned before, I do Lyft driving full time as my income, and oh my god, this week has just been on traffic and a lot more than usual insane drivers. The amount of like narrow misses that I've had driving passengers to and from their destination has greatly increased and stuff. Like it's been something. But yeah, people are just nuts. And what's wild too is I actually saw a TikTok thing saying like that was like a compilation of dash cams and like crazy stuff, and one of the comments was like someone saying like that they swore that since COVID people's driving has just gotten worse and worse. And honestly, I think they're right. And one insight into this was at least in my area, is I had a passenger once talk to me, like, because I brought up some comment of like, God, the drivers around here can't drive. And they told me, I guess, around here for like the peak during the pandemic and stuff with the lockdown, what the DMV was doing, and this explains a lot, is what the DMV was doing is they would do, have people online or whatever take the written test, and took the test, and if you passed, they just gave you your license. They didn't do any form of driving test, on-road driving test. And all I have to say to that is, no. The fuck. That's dumb. Like, there should have been a thing, and it just explains a lot. And oh yeah, actually, as I'm saying this, I'm going through Twitter. I forgot there is something I want to talk about, which is apparently some new bullshit with Twitch. So Twitch has talked about how they found they're going to address like view bots and view botting and all this stuff. However, apparently the way they're doing it is now gonna be kind of fucked, and I'm gonna have to put out actually a notice to this to my community, my Discord, because and not a bad way, I do attract a lot of people who lurk, which is fine, but now okay, so this would be a little awkward because y'all aren't gonna hear a whole section of my podcast I just had recorded. Seems like that tweet I was just talking about with potential of like Twitch's new view bot combat system. So yeah, y'all gonna probably hear the start of that, and I'm just gonna scrap most of that off of the podcast here because I don't want to. Because if there's a chance it's just fear mongering and people just kind of pulling shit out of their ass, I don't want to, I guess, continue to promote that. I mean, I'm one to be happy to admit if I'm wrong with some information and stuff. Done with having random gaps and stuff, but yeah. So it seems like that there's a lot of potential fear mongering with that information. So I'm going to just scrap the bits you're not hearing, but I'm just addressing the fact that I'm here that I'm scrapping some part of this podcast up a little bit since keep that part out of here. But there's a potential, as I'm seeing, all I'm gonna say is there's a potential that there is some lurkers or stuff that's causing people's view counts to drastically drop that could be possibly contributed to Twitch's potential implementation of a system to like remove bot viewers from your view count, and could be accidentally like harming lurkers. There, that's all I'm gonna say. But there. Give me a moment here. You're not gonna deal with the time jump, but I now gotta go look and find more news to talk about. So, un momento, por favor. Yeah. Okay. So, I can't find anything. So it'll just be a short, sweet podcast episode, I guess. I mean, the more I get used to this, and like once my life gets a little less chaotic from the move and whatnot, probably have longer ones and more topics to discuss, or just rambling and yapping about. But yeah, no, nothing at the moment. But yeah, just big thing is, I guess, for my fellow streamers, if we are seeing average view counts going down, most likely not our faults, and what have you. So yeah, but with that though, I appreciate everybody for listening into today's episode, and I can't wait for hang out with y'all in the next one.